We begin tonight with United Airlines telling customers, tough luck. Those ultra-low-price tickets you bought will not be honored. It all started yesterday when a computer glitch offered customers transatlantic fares for as little as $70. Thousands of folks snapped up those deals. But today, United said, no way, we're not going to offer those fares, even though they confirmed the tickets to the customers themselves. With us now, Ann Banas, executive editor of Smarter Travel, and one of our resident travel experts, Mark Murphy. And I will start with you. Should this airline, United, honor these fares?
Well, that's the tricky part. I mean, these fare glitches happen fairly frequently, and I'd say it's probably 50-50 whether the airlines honor them or not. In this case, it looks like United is saying, no way, we're not going to honor this. But, you know, technically, they might have to. There are rules in place.
Right. Okay, so Ann's not going to give us her own opinion here. Mark Murphy, will you venture an opinion about whether these folks should be able to hang on to these $75 fares?
The short answer is no. They shouldn't be able to. It is a mistake. It's an honest mistake. There's no fraud, deliberate deception there. And because of that, United's not going to be forced to actually be held accountable for that mistake.
Well, let me tell you what United said. United is avoiding the bookings of several thousand individuals who are attempting to take advantage of an error of a third-party software provider made when it applied an incorrect currency exchange rate, despite United having properly filed its fares. And back to you. Delta recently, about a year ago, incorrectly offered low fares and just rolled with it. You know, they figured that the PR cost would be too high. Why shouldn't that happen again?
Well, I think it is in the best airlines, you know, it's in their best interest to honor these tickets because of customer service. I mean, the airlines have also, you know, already taken away so many things, added a lot of fees. People are still frustrated. Here's a situation that it was their mistake. They're not taking responsibility for it. And there could be repercussions, but they're willing to risk that because they really care mostly about the bottom line.
All right, a difference of opinion there. Let's get to somebody who actually knows a thing or two about this. Beverly Paris is one of these consumers who actually got caught in this whole thing. Tell us, first of all, Beverly, if you would, you're in London, why you bought the ticket, what your plans were.
Hi. My plans were to travel to New York, have a couple of really exciting events coming up. A cousin who's really dear to me is getting married in New York in the middle of May, and a couple of weeks prior to that, even more importantly, my baby sister is having her first baby. So I was going to fly over to the wedding and then hop over to Miami to see my sister, and I was going to take my son with me. So I was really looking forward to that trip. One-time
events there, obviously. Did you have any idea that the fare that you saw posted, did you think that was weird? Did you understand that it could be a glitch?
Well, clearly, I assumed it was a glitch.
But you bought it anyway, right? And I think we have a copy of your confirmation. We have a copy of your confirmation. It's not just that you planned to buy the ticket or you were thinking about buying the ticket. You bought the ticket, and there it is right there, the confirmation. What did you end up paying for that?
So I paid, I think it was like 978 Danish kroner, and that comes out to like 150 US dollars, give or take, I think.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
Tickets. Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about some of these rules that apply here, because there is actually a Department of Transportation rule that says this. It's called a Passenger Consumer Protection Rule. If a consumer purchases a fare, just like Beverly did, and that consumer receives confirmation, then the seller of air transportation cannot increase the price of that air transportation to that consumer, even when the fare is a mistake. That seems pretty clear to me, Ann. What do you say?
I think it's very clear, and I think that there are a lot of consumer protections that are in place, and the airlines try to get away with it. This is a classic example, and I think this just doesn't, again, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't bode well for the airlines and their attention to customer service.
All right, I want to read a statement from the Department of Transportation, because we called them and said, hey, what about this rule? You guys have a rule. Are you going to use it? Here's what the Department of Transportation said. The department is aware of the issue involving mistaken fares on United's Danish-facing website. We are in the process of investigating the situation, including speaking to United about this matter and reviewing customer complaints submitted to the department's Office of Aviation Enforcement and Proceedings. That office will gather all the relevant facts before making a determination as to whether United is or is not required to honor the mistaken fare. So we eagerly await wait, whatever it is they're going to say. In the meantime, Mark, what do you say?
Well, I say what you said right up front, which is that this is a third party. United filed the fares correctly. The third party, because of a currency situation, put it in incorrectly. You want to all hold United responsible for that. Well, let me tell you, a lot of companies work with third parties. Are we going to hold every company that works with a third party responsible for a mistake that's made at that level when they've done everything right? And for the client who paid $150 for 2 business class tickets across the pond, that's $16,000 on average. You know, you got to have basically a little smell meter and go, does that smell right? Do I really think they're doing that?
You know, Mark, I got to disagree with you, buddy. I love you to death, and I know you know the industry here. But if you're putting this number out there for the general public to see, and I can actually purchase the ticket, I get confirmation back from the airline. I mean, come on. It's a contract. Well, I have a contract with you. I'm going to give Beverly here the last word. What do you want to see happen? Are you going to be able to get over here for these big family events?
Yeah, like clearly I'm going to still travel to that event, although probably not in first class. I guess like my thing is just I actually work in a customer facing role, and I was just a little surprised by the email they sent me this morning. There was no apology. There was no attempt to sort of like say, hey guys, we made a mistake. Let's try to fix that somehow.
Beverly, before you go, what exactly did they say to you? Like your ticket is null and void?
Yeah, they just said that you purchased the ticket due to a pricing glitch, and we will be refunding you the total, the total money that you spent. There was no apology, there was no acknowledgement, there was, nothing like that.
Wow, boy, tin air there. Well, we'll continue to follow this story. You can bet that. Thank you, and Mark and Beverly. You guys all did a great job. And now we want to know what you think. Here's our question.